So I feel like a lot of small towns are similar in habits. And so, Nikki, you're from a small town, and I thought I'd have to ask you because I didn't grow up in a small town, but I went to college in a small town and learned a lot of tendencies that two other small towns had the exact same thing. Yeah. And where are you from again? You're from
Ithaca.
Yeah, small town, right?
Hold on. How big was your college town?
I don't know a number, but all I know is basically everybody knew everybody. Like we're talking, if something happened, you was in the newspaper the next day.
Oh, so it was big enough to have its own newspaper, though.
Yeah.
So at least you had that. 6,100 people
for
your college town.
Oh, wow, that's decent. Wait,
it's not bad.
I feel like they're counting probably like there's a town right beside it. Probably the college students, but like also like the town like Alton is right beside it.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like they're counting that. I think Orange City itself was maybe like 3,000. They're saying 6,000?
It says 6,000 in the 2010 census. And in 2017, it was 6,100, 6,141 in 2017.
They're definitely counting the college students. I can't count them. Because we're seasonal. We're seasonal.
It's a suitcase college.
Exactly.
Ish. Kind of like Wayne was.
But so one of my questions, first question is with a small town, do you leave your door to your house and like your keys in your car? Do you leave all that stuff unlocked?
So we would leave our doors unlocked. If it weren't for my parents don't lock their house. My parents never lock their house. Our neighbor is a little sketch sometimes, so we lock our house. I don't lock my car at night, and I leave the keys in the car.
Does
that make you nervous?
Yes, my heart is literally pounding.
No, I didn't grow up locking anything. No.
Is that just how you were just raised and just like a trust factor?
Yes. I mean, it's the tiniest town. Very few things actually happen in this town. People who aren't from this town aren't in the town. So it's like if somebody's going to do something, you find out about it. You know who it is because there's 140 damn people in the whole town.
True, but I don't know. That just the first time I like needed to borrow my like host family's car. I was like, "What time do you want me to pick it up?" And they're like, "Oh, we're at work till 4." I was like, "When we come out," they're like, "Nah, keys are in the car. Just pick it up whenever." I'm like, keys in the car. Unlocked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't sleep with the door unlocked.
Really?
Heck no. I made that a rule at my host family's house. Like at night we had to lock the doors. Like I can't sleep knowing like a door is unlocked.
So how'd you grow up? Like everything was locked? How many like deadbolts did you have on your front door?
We had to walk around before we went to bed. Like you are checking every door, every window. You are taking the keys and sticking it out the window and making sure the car is locked. We had a garage and we would lock the cars in the garage.
You'd lock the cars.
Mm-hmm.
Beep, beep. Cars would be locked. And then you exit the garage. You lock the garage.
Yep.
Like it's double.
Yeah.
What the what?
That's just how you grow up in a large city. But still, I just feel like that's like general knowledge. Like even beyond that, leaving the keys in the car.
Oh, no.
Like, that is just a setup to, like, anything.
For theft?
Right. Like
my mom, I borrow my mom's pickup often. And I'll, like, text her, be like, hey, can I borrow your gold truck today? And she's like, yep, sure. Keys are in the truck. Go get it when you need it. Should have gas in it.
And we're talking, like, is it just the key to the car? Does it have, like, the keys to everything on it?
No, it's just the key to the car. I don't think they even have house keys.
School size. What was the largest class you can recall you had?
I graduated with 20 kids. God. I grew up going to school in Ithaca, basically like a 2-room country school in the town. There was me and another girl, like K through 6. 2 kids in my whole class, K through 6. And then at 6 o'clock, the school stopped. And you had to choose where you're going to go. So then I went to a different school, and I had 20 kids in my class.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, a lot of small towns that I've been around, they talk about how, like, you basically go to school with everybody from, like, pre-K all the way to high school. I think the most I've ever heard a graduating class in a small town was, like, 68.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
And they were, like, that was, like, the big, like, a big graduating. You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
More than 1,000?
Yeah. 1,182.
Oh my God. How do you can't even like know everybody?
No, oh no. And I was the sucky part is graduation because I'm a T.
What?
Like alphabetic.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
We would have been right next to each other.
Yeah, maybe.
My maiden name was S. We would have sat right next to each other.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, 1,182 is
How
what I
long
graduated
was your freaking
with.
graduation?
Oh, that
was it
thing-
like 2 days?
It was, should have been. It was
Like
4
A
hours.
through N, and then.
They should have. Like, it was long. It was like 4+ hours.
Oh my God, that sounds miserable.
Is it generic for small towns to use breakfast, dinner, supper?
Ugh. Me and my mom get into fights about that often. It is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She is like, it's breakfast, lunch, supper. And I hate supper.
Wait. She goes breakfast, lunch, supper?
Yeah, breakfast, lunch, supper.
I could do that. I'd rather do that than like breakfast, dinner, supper.
No, dinner is not lunch.
No, exactly. So I missed what my host family called supper.
Uh-huh.
I missed supper because they told me come over for dinner, thinking we knew the same lingo.
Right.
And I didn't ask them like a time. They were like, yeah, come for dinner. No. Yeah, they said come for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And so I show up at like 12 and they're like, hey. And I'm like, no, sorry. I got the whole story wrong. Yeah, they invited me for dinner. And in my mind, dinner's not till 6.
Yes.
Dinner for them
Dinner's
was 12.
an evening meal.
Right.
Okay.
See, I'm confused. So yeah,
What?
I didn't show up to their house until 6 p.m. And they're like, hey, we missed you today. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm here for dinner.
Here for dinner.
And they're like, we just had supper. They're like, dinner was at noon. And I'm like, dinner is at 6. And then we had to learn, like, I call it breakfast, lunch, dinner. And they called it breakfast, dinner, supper.
I've literally never heard anybody say that.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
I don't
Orange
think that's
City?
a small thing. I think that's just an Iowa thing.
It might be.
TBH.
I mean, hey, I don't live there anymore, so I ain't mad at it.